Hey guys, just a quick heads up before the episode. A lot of the time we were recording, we spent time in what we like to call Robot Land, which, for anyone who has ever used Discord, you know that's when their servers can't quite keep up with the demand, and you just kind of go digital on everyone. We were determined to finish out the episode, but there are going to be a lot of times where we couldn't quite hear each other, and it's probably going to come through here and there, and we won't quite be able to edit it out. It'll all sound fine for you, but no, for us, we were hearing the most garbled digital mess you could ever dream of. Okay, cool. Enjoy the episode.
You guys think gentrification's a problem?
I feel like I don't know how to. It's a complicated issue because I am objectively part of the problem.
Why?
Because I live in an area that used to be entirely black and over time has been gentrified by a bunch of fucking ritzy ass white college students.
I live in a city that's basically that.
Yeah. So I have mixed opinions on it because on one hand I think the practices that lead to gentrification are really fucked up, like the raising in rent and stuff like that. But I also don't think that it inherently is a bad thing, if that makes sense. I think that a lot of the practices associated with it are horrible, but I also think that like there's nothing inherently wrong with, for example, white people moving into a lower class black neighborhood.
I think the problem, like with gentrification, my personal take on it is that it's not really a problem if it's a lower class person moving into a lower class neighborhood in order to afford it.
Yes.
Afford being alive. If you're like a rich person who just kind of wants to feel that lifestyle, then
that's a shitty thing to do.
That makes you an asshole.
Or if you're just like, wow, I don't have a lot of money and the rent's cheap here.
Hipsters
exactly.
And artists are apparently a real problem with that in LA.
But again, like if they're low income people.
Well, the problem is that low income people attract, the hipsters and artists are a specific like brand, air quotes, and they attract naturally, fucking like kombucha stores and shit. Like that just happens over time.
Yeah, that's true.
Regardless of their income, and that's really the problem is that like the stores in the area will start catering to the newcomers rather than things like mom and pop's barbecue shop in the corner staying open because nobody else is buying their barbecue.
Yeah, I think the problem is the destruction of pre-existing culture.
Yes, I would 100% agree.
But the mixing of cultures, not inherently bad.
I agree. But I say that as somebody who, whose entire culture is built on a bunch of mixed cultures, so.
Oh, yeah, I mean, personally, I consider myself a red-blooded American.
Yeah.
And, that entire culture is based on not necessarily ripping the culture from other people, although
sometimes
historically that has been a problem. But I think like modern America isn't all about just taking culture from other people. I think we've definitely stepped away from that.
We've definitely gotten better.
A little bit.
Yeah. We actually are. Unfortunately, the culture that we're currently breeding is kind of a mess. Is a bit of a mess. Anyway, are we gonna clap sync? Because unfortunately, none of that can be used because it wasn't clap synced.
It can be used.
I mean, it can, but I don't know if Noah will. Because it was a charged political issue, and I don't know if that's going to be allowed on the podcast.
It wasn't charged.
People have very strong feelings about gentrification. There are protests
because a lot
of
people have lost a lot of like their homes and shit like that because of it.
Yeah, because it's horse shit. Good. You know what? I just gotta say, I'm proud of you guys. I want y'all to know, except Noah, proud of mostly you, Jackson.
Thanks.
Got you, fam.
I don't know why, but thanks.
I mean, somebody has to be. Who else is going to be? Your parents? Yeah, right.
Definitely not.
Same, TBH.
I mean, it's still stand-up people, though.
The only reason I brought up that whole discussion earlier was because I went to a Cuban restaurant today. And on the way there was this big sign on the side of the road that said, "Stop gentrification."
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, that's a fair reason to bring it up.
It was in a pretty, not bad, but like low-income part of town. So I was kind of like, just thinking about that, thinking about those beans or whatever the meme is, thinking about that kind of stuff. I went to a Cuban restaurant.
About those gentrifications.
Very good.
Then hashtag gentrification.
Or not. You said the food was very good, though.
The food was very good.
Nice.
I had a Cuban sandwich because that's the whole reason I went. Is that's what I was like in the mood for. I was craving that, so I was like, oh, what's a good Cuban place nearby? That was the first place that came up. It's a little joint called Tropicana here in Austin. Mm-hmm. It's dope. I'd recommend it if you're ever in town.
Okay.
And very cheap too. Very not necessarily cheap, but very affordable for what I got.
Nice.
Yeah, I was a big fan.
So, question: as
Yes.
somebody who has not eaten enough food in his life and has probably had one but does not remember, what exactly goes into a Cuban sandwich?
So the main things are going to be pulled pork and ham.
Okay.
Those are the meats. So it's pulled pork and ham. Pickles, usually like the long, you ever seen like a whole pickle that's like sliced vertically? Yeah, like those pickle slices usually go in. I'm pretty sure always. Mustard, sometimes mayo if they're feeling it, and that's pretty much all that you do. It's a press sandwich, and it comes on like a baguette style bread. Very good sandwich.
That's pretty dope. I won't lie.
Yeah, I liked it. I had a good time, and sorry, I had Cuban coffee.
Ooh, that sounds nice.
Which if you've never had, it's a shot of espresso, but they usually only use like the first couple drips of it, like a big shot of espresso, like so it's just like the super strong part of it, so it's not watered down like at all, and then they take that, put a shitload of sugar. There's a lot more sugar than anyone needs to have in their lifetime in it, and then they like pour the coffee on top of the sugar so it like melts up, stir it up a little bit, and then you drink it. You just like sip it.
Nice. Did I ever tell you I used to actually work at a Italian gelato place?
You didn't, but I knew you did because back in the day I was there.
That was a good time. I remember that.
It was. But the best part of that was our alcoholic former cokehead, probably still maybe a cokehead, us, was like a really good chef. He was a really nice guy. And he had like these crazy quality standards for everything. And he taught me how to make what he called real Italian espresso because we also had a coffee machine.
Okay.
It was a nice place,
with it.
you know? And the best of it...
Real high-end place because it had a coffee machine.
Well, okay, so saying it that way makes it sound real dumb. But bear with me here. He told me that the only way to truly drink espresso was for each shot of espresso you put in one bag of sugar. Or one little packet, you know?
I know you immedially corrected it, but I like the idea of literally
also-
like an entire like massive bag.
Like I like the idea of having this have like a really solid, thick consistency.
Which I won't lie. Actually, I mean it sounds terrible, but
It's
not
actually
that
just like
terrible.
brown stained sugar that you just crunch on.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean it sounds terrible, but again, not that terrible.
sounds
I've done worse
awful.
things.
That sounds very bad, yeah.
Okay, listen, guys.
I mean, you can try and say that eating a straight bag of sugar is a good thing to do, but
No, I'm not gonna try. I'm just, I may or may not have tried it as a kid.
I think everyone did as a
Multiple
kid.
times.
Everyone tried it. Yeah. That's par for the course
And
as a
then poured it
child.
over
Just eating
myself.
straight sugar.
Twice.
It's kind of weird.
Now it just sounds
Listen,
like some weird
I wanted
thing.
to be sweet. I wanted to be sweet, okay?
Yeah, I don't think
I
that's
wasn't sweet as a kid, and it
And
didn't
now you're
work.
so goddamn salty.
I don't think
I
that's
am.
true.
See? If I had been allowed to continue my sugar bath, it would have been fine.
I don't think that's true.
Listen, you don't know. Listen,
You're right, I
somewhere in
don't.
the multiverse is a Dan who's happy.
No, probably not.
I mean, in theory, but seems like a fat chance. So, anybody else eat anything fun in this past week?
Dude,
Oh no, go ahead.
I'm in college, in an art school, and paying for it myself. No, I haven't. The best thing I had in the last 2 weeks was a homemade ham and beef sandwich.
I said that. Well, that sounds kind of similar to what I had, and like my whole meal today was like $10.
That sounds real good.
Yeah, and I had an appetizer, which was a croquette.
Ooh.
It's pretty good, yeah, on crackers. Then I had the sandwich, and I had a cup with the appetizer of the Cuban coffee, and I had a cup afterwards. And then I had a dessert, and it was $12.
Was this just on your own, or were you?
Just by me, myself.
How do you guys feel about that? I'm a fucking pull a hard segue here.
Okay.
How do you guys feel about like going out to eat by yourselves?
So I do it
Like
a lot.
sitting down.
I have done it a lot, and I don't feel weird about it because I usually also go with a laptop and I work on stuff.
That's fair.
So
I do it a lot. I just don't feel weird about it because I've done it so much. Because I have no other option really. So I just go out to eat by myself, and then I just like read a book. That's
See,
about
the
it.
one that also doesn't feel weird to me, but I know a lot of people take issue with, is going to see a movie by yourself.
I've never had an
love
issue
that.
with that. Yeah, I love doing that.
Huge fan because I have this really bad habit of like talking during movies. One of my favorite things to do is rag on movies with my brother while we watch them, you know? However, the big but here is you can't do that in a theater, but I want to really bad.
I would choke slam the shit out of you if we went to a movie together and you said a word.
And I would too. Anytime I hear people around me talking, I get so mad. But then, obviously, when I do it, it's okay because it's funny.
Yeah, clearly.
But
exactly, you are the funny one.
So I have found the best way around that is I just go to a movie by myself. Because I don't even like when people talk to me during the movie. Because I've gone out to movies with friends who also like to talk during movies, and I hate it.
That's what I was gonna say. Is that like I'm not worried I'm gonna talk. I just if I'm with someone and they say even like a word during the movie, even during like the previews, I'm like, I hate you so much.
I got weird
It's like,
feelings
stop.
about when people talk during previews because on one hand I want to be like, hey, do you want to go see that? And then be like, yeah, or nah, it looks dumb. But at the same time, I feel like it's an extension of the movie and I don't want people talking during them either.
You guys got some real weird
Man,
opinions about theater etiquette.
I still got a fat old man talking about his hemorrhoids sitting behind me during those previews. I don't want to hear that, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Theater etiquette is if you speak, public beheading.
I'm down with that.
I don't know that I can back
Now,
that.
what I will say
I'm sorry.
is if you were at an event movie, like let's say, for instance, I'm trying to get a bunch of people together to go see Halloween on opening night. So
Okay.
anyone in the Erie region at 9:45 on the 18th of October, I'm going to see that showing. Y'all come with me.
Wait, you're going on
dude.
opening night
No,
and you're gonna talk.
no, I'm not.
Isn't
Okay,
that
then
when
it's
this
fine.
episode comes
But-
out? Isn't this episode coming out that night? Doesn't this episode come out that
Yes,
night?
it does. That's my fun topical comment that I'm excited
okay.
about.
Sorry to steal that from
Okay.
you.
But yeah, I'm going to see it.
Sorry,
So
sorry to
like,
completely rob you of any happiness.
if I was going to see that in a small theater with like a crowd that are all fans of horror, then I would be okay if people like not talk, but like screamed or laughed or reacted to the movie.
Well, that's reacting to movies is
I'd be
fine.
okay
You're
with
allowed
that.
to do
but
that.
I don't want people to sit there and be like, "Oh my gosh, did you just see that? Michael like totally ripped that person's teeth out." You know?
Why
No,
would
it's in
you
the
do that?
preview though, so I'm pretty excited.
You shouldn't do that.
That seems like painful.
What's he gonna do with the
I think
teeth?
he just drops them over a bathroom door, like in like a truck stop bathroom stall, to scare somebody.
That sounds like I mean, that's
like
pretty
so
good
much
scare.
work.
He kills them. No, I'm so excited.
I'd say why would you need to do that when you could just like be like, hey, got a knife here, because that's gonna scare him just as much.
That's not a knife.
I got
This
a
is a
spoiler for you.
knife.
He does that too. Dude, I'm so
You
excited.
think, you think he says, hey, got a
Because like,
knife?
the Halloween franchise destroyed Michael Myers in any element of scary that I could like have seen him as, because he's just a joke by the end of the series.
Rude.
And then Rob Zombie took him in a totally different direction. That dude's freaking scary in those movies, and I really appreciate it, but a lot of people didn't. From these previews, at the very least, I'm seeing this as a scary Michael again, and I'm so excited for it. It's gonna be fun.
I maintain y'all got weird opinions about theater etiquette.
Yeah, what's your
go ahead.
opinion?
Because
Tell us why
I
we're
mean,
wrong.
I'm also. I mean, you are, and that's okay. You're allowed to be wrong.
No,
it's
here's
America.
what I'm saying. If you think we're wrong, you're the problem.
See, I don't think you're entirely wrong. I just think you're overreacting.
I think then you're the problem.
I mean, that's fair. You can think that. I mean, I'm pretty much in a similar vein as Noah, in as much as I really, really enjoy talking during movies. Though usually it's to lean over and say something really snarky.
Man, that mise en place.
That made me so angry.
Mise en scène, I'm sorry.
No, you got me. You got me. No,
Mise en place is the
I'm more upset that you got me with it than anything else.
Well, you could have mise en place in the mise en scène.
I'm moving on. No, I think that you shouldn't, like, obviously don't I guess my thing is that, like, enjoy the movie the way you want to enjoy the movie, just don't ruin the experience for anyone else. And, like, I feel like you can definitely talk during a movie without ruining the experience for anyone else.
You ruin it for me.
I mean, and that's something that, like, obviously if I go see a movie with you, I'm gonna keep my goddamn mouth shut.
That's right, because I will suplex you if you don't.
I mean, I would love to see you do that.
You
That's not
probably
even
couldn't
like
really see
that's
it
not
too
even an
well.
argument. That's just like I really want to see it. Like, I want no one to be there to record it.
When you're the one being suplexed, it's hard to see.
That's why he wants.
I want no one to be there
to
record it.
Okay,
so that it's there forever.
You can watch it later.
I don't know. I especially during the previews. Like, I've never not talked during the previews. I don't think. Because, like, to me, they are just ads. And if I cared that much about whatever I was looking at, I could go watch it later. I don't know. Like, previews mean nothing to me. Because I already, usually by the time I get to a movie, I already know, like, oh, I'm going to go see this movie, I'm going to see that movie, I'm going to see the next movie. And I'm not really super likely to be swayed heavily. Or at least I like to think I'm not likely to be like, oh, I saw this amazing trailer for this movie when I went to see Star Wars or whatever, and it made me want to go see it, and I had to see it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to watch it outside the theater.
I just think you're the problem.
That's fair. How do you guys feel about people who go like heavily into the no spoilers that like they don't look at news, they don't look at trailers, they don't even look at the poster if they can help it?
I try to do that.
Usually they don't bother me because typically they're not talking to anyone when they're avoiding spoilers.
That's fair.
So it's kind of like I don't have to deal with them because they're trying not to deal with me. So it's honestly ideal.
What were you saying, Noah?
Were you saying how do I feel about those people? Because I am those people. Yeah.
Are you really?
With the exception of very few things, I will always try to avoid all spoilers. Like, remember when we were talking when, like, Star Wars was coming out? And I'm like, and you were talking about trailers, and I'm like, oh man, don't tell me. I don't want to know because I wasn't watching them. So, like, for the most part, that is how I feel about a lot of the movies I watch. I get dragged to movies by other people or by reputation. I end up catching them later. That's why I don't see too many in the theater. So, yeah. But I try to avoid spoilers when I can because without fail, trailers are always full of, like, major spoiler points.
They really are, and they should not be doing that.
The only time I see trailers are when I'm in the theater because I count that as part of the fun experience, and I'm okay with it.
I mean, I would definitely agree that is a problem. I think that, I don't know. To me, like, personally, I'm the kind of person who, if I'm going to as I'm sitting down watching the trailers, like before the lights completely go dim or whatever, I'm going to be on my phone looking at like the Wikipedia and IMDb articles for whatever movie I'm about to see.
Really?
I like to know everything about it. Yeah. I don't want to read like the spoiler parts of it, but I can read the summary and not be spoiled.
Summaries can be spoiled.
I can read the cast list.
I'm going to drop some serious spoilers for Hereditary, okay? Did either of you see Hereditary?
I mean, that's fine. I did not, and I'm not likely to.
Okay, are you likely to?
No, I didn't. Maybe. It's not impossible.
Oh, I'm only going to spoil a minor point that a lot of people got angry about. All the advertising pointed toward, like, the ghost of the grandmother as, like, this malevolent force. Or even, like, you know, like, with that. That's what I thought the movie was about from the one preview. Okay? That is not what the movie's about at all. The grandma dies in the first like 2 seconds of the film, and then the rest of the film is about a totally different thing going on. But I went in.
That's so weird. I mean, that's honestly probably a sign that a lot of changes were made post-production.
Actually, no, because there's no way the entire movie was altered really as heavily as it was.
That's possible.
Guess now the studio A24, I guess they have this reputation of like quote unquote bad trailers. I liked it though because it's not what I expected. No, I'm not going to go into any more spoilers than that because anyone who hasn't seen it should definitely watch it because despite what some people say, it is a very fun movie. It's just a slow burn. But there is a scene in the first like 15 minutes of the movie that I was not expecting because the previews led me to think something different. Because of that, the movie punched me in the stomach and I loved it.
That's good.
I feel like that's a good, like, I feel like that's an argument for watching trailers, not against watching trailers. But if I looked at the summary,
because this isn't about trailers right now, this is about you looking at the summary.
That's fair.
And if I had looked at the summary for that movie, that would have been a major plot point that would have been spoiled. Probably.
I'm also going to maintain that's a very specific
However,
example.
to avoid this ever happening to me, I never look into movies until I watch them. Did you guys see, Don't Breathe?
Nope.
So
didn't even hear of it.
It's a movie about a blind guy. No.
But you're not allowed to breathe.
The don't breathe thing is because, you know, blind people need more air than not blind people, so don't breathe because you'll kill them, you know?
I won't lie, for a fraction of a second I believed you. For a fraction of a second I'm like, that sounds like some M. Night Shyamalan
yeah, no,
shit.
That's not it. But, you know, don't, or else he'll find you because his hearing's so good that he'll know where you are, you know?
Because it's a horror movie, because that's literally all
sorry.
Noah watches.
You're telling me these people are losing a fight
blind
to a
army
blind
vet.
guy?
And these guys are like Detroit street
Yeah,
criminals.
but still. That honestly makes you a pretty good fighter, if I had to guess.
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like a pretty unlikely, unless he's
I'll be
literally
honest, the
Daredevil.
entire reason he won is because the only one of them capable of fighting totally underestimated him and got killed within like their first interaction. And then he also had a dog.
That's fair.
Yeah, dog makes a big difference.
Dog definitely makes it different, unless it's like a Chihuahua.
My brother
even then,
Jeff, he dragged me there, and I had no knowledge of this movie. So for the first half of the movie, I'm waiting because I knew it was a horror movie. I was waiting for the haunted house to start because I thought that's what the movie was about.
You can't breathe inside the haunted house.
Yeah, I had no clue what it was about, so I went in with it was fun because I didn't know what this movie was going to be, and it made it more intense. That's why I need a
sounds like it
spoiler
might be
friend
fine.
like Dan to find out what movies he think I'd like, and then send me to them.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, I just disagree. Like, to me, I want to, even if I don't know exactly what's going to happen, I want to have an idea of what I'm walking into. And I will admit, like, I'm the kind of person who also would find that Hereditary fake out to be like really satisfying. Like, that would be so dope to me. But like, it doesn't change like the core premise of the movie, if that makes sense. Like, the premise of the movie is still spooky horror thing.
I mean, yeah.
Like, it'd be like if I go see Star Wars and it's only about
I was gonna say Han Solo,
and
for
I
example.
like Rose. No, I even like I need to watch that. It's my big Star Wars shame I still haven't seen it because I haven't
think you
literally
would
just
enjoy
haven't
it.
had time since it released.
One of my
I
big
know
Star
I
Wars
will.
shame.
Is that you haven't seen any of them? We know.
Who is Rose?
The Asian woman in the new
There's no such
Last
thing as
Jedi.
minorities in space. So why is she in a Star Wars person?
A little bit, but also
do not know.
definitely
That is
not,
100%
but
why
also a
people
little
didn't
bit.
like her. Also because she was a questionable character.
She was I will admit her lines are not.
We don't win
not good.
wars by killing the people we hate. We win them by saving the people we
Holy
love.
shit.
Nah, I'll admit that is the
Holy shit,
worst
that's
line in
true.
Star Wars, and there are a lot
That's
of bad
like the
lines.
thing. Like, a lot of people don't know about World War II. How we won World War II was we actually just evacuated everyone from France, and then we just started evacuating people from other European countries, and then we won.
I will say I still support her fucking. I'm not spoiling it. Never mind. I still support what she did because Finn was being a dumbass. Anyway, but yeah, that'd be like me going to see a Star Wars movie and it being entirely about Rose when I thought I was going to get lightsabers and flippy flips. If I went in with if I went in expecting it to be all about Rose, I think I'd be fine with it. But if I went in, again, expecting lightsabers, I would be really disappointed and a little upset. Because those are two completely different story types, even if they're in the same universe. One is space magic
Space
and
cowboy.
one is, well, yeah.
Space Cow? Are you kidding me?
That's
You'd
what
rather
Solo
see
was.
Space Magic than Space Cowboy?
So you need to go watch Solo. Solo is Space Cowboys.
Space Cowboy is so
Yeah,
much
Space
cooler
Cowboy
than
was a
Space
trip.
Magic.
Counterpoint.
Yeah.
Can I counterpoint? What if you do both?
That's not as cool because then you still have Space Magic.
You hurt me.
I just want it to be like a sad, horizontally moving story about a space cowboy, and I want it to end in a very ambiguous way that leaves a lot to the imagination and leaves the character in the same place they were at the start of the film. Is that such a problem?
No, not really. I'm actually
So
not
you wanna
against
watch
that as
Cowboys
an
versus
idea.
Aliens.
Those are the... That's my favorite movie.
I can't blame you.
kidding
It's
me?
such a good movie. It's probably the best
Speaking
movie
of
I've ever seen.
Cowboys,
Football? Just gonna go to football?
no, it's going to
okay.
go to Overwatch.
Okay.
Yeehaw.
I don't want to talk
Breeze
about
here.
Overwatch.
So yeah, that was
I
where I
knew.
was gonna go with it. But I was gonna say so a peek behind the curtain. The Halloween event dropped today. Have you guys seen
I
the new
have
skins
not
for
seen
it?
the new
Do you guys
skins yet,
care at all?
Nope.
Because Jackson, I thought you played. Like I thought that was a thing.
I do not like Overwatch.
Is this a new thing or is this a
This
is
has
this
been a thing. I played the beta a long time ago before it came out. I liked it well enough, but the actual gameplay has no repeat value to me and almost zero competitive viability because Blizzard refuses to make an actually usable system for spectating.
I think we
leaves
had this
them miles
conversation.
behind something like we did, but it just leaves them miles behind anything like Counter-Strike, an older game. In my opinion, it's a different game, but I find it a little bit less fun and less engaging to play than Overwatch. That's probably because my skill level is low, but anyway, I think
Same.
it is infinitely better for spectating, just because they have a free camera as well as like easy player rotates when spectating. So like it makes it very engaging as a viewer because you can actually see what's going on at the map. Like you can see the whole map, you can see the players moving through objects.
Oh yeah, I 100%
it just
agree
looks
with
much
that.
better.
That's but I'm not a guy that watches competitive Overwatch, so it doesn't really affect me.
You and the rest of the world. It's so imbalanced. They had a team that didn't win a single game the entire first year.
I mean,
How do you mess up competitive matchmaking or like in team building in a franchised esport to the point where you can get a team that is so unstacked and uncoordinated that they don't win a single game with no fear of relegation?
Hasn't
You
that
mean the
happened in
Browns
like
last year?
professional sports though?
It has. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Cleveland Browns have won a game like twice in the history of their sport. And that's also like, how do you have a team so unstacked? Although that one's kind of explainable because the Browns have had like the first pick in every draft since 1906. And they just are like, you know what we need this year? Quarterback. They got Baker Mayfield this year, and I don't think he's the reason they're doing well. I think it's honestly, I don't know that much about football, right? I know enough to get by and watch games, but I think it's a matter of every other team in the league is just so bad that the Browns look kind of good. It's like if they're like, well, the Browns and the Jets they're such bad teams. What if we just dial back the skill of the entire league?
You know, my boss
So
has a
that it's
$100
all
bet
good.
that the Browns are gonna go 7-9 this year. At this point,
That's
it's
not a
not.
bad
Every
bet,
time
honestly.
he mentioned it, I laughed because I thought for sure he was gonna lose $100.
That's a bit specific, a bit of a hard bet to make, but yeah, hopefully.
I hope they don't.
Hopefully they go
so that I
7-9
can, like,
just for his
tease him
sake.
with it.
Wow.
It'd be funny.
What if they do better?
I
what if
told
they
him
take
that-
it all?
I don't.
What if they take it all?
I don't know football terms, but I didn't think the Rams are going to make it into the Final Four for the Super Bowl.
Same.
I don't really follow
I don't
too
know
much.
who the hell the Rams
but
are.
he said that he
Like,
thinks
what
that they're
team they
going to
are,
win the
right?
Super Bowl this
St.
year.
Louis?
I'm like, bet you $50 they don't even make it into the Final Four. And he's like, do you mean whatever the correct terminology is? And I'm like, yeah, sure, that. So yeah, I'm probably going to lose $50 this year, but it's okay
It's not looking good.
because there could be a freak accident where one of their players gets hurt and I win $50.
It's honestly not really that freak of an accident.
It's true.
Yeah, I think everybody's getting hurt all the time. It's kind of what they do. But I'm not a big football guy. But you know what is in full swing now that I am a fan of?
Oh, hockey's a
Hockey.
blast.
And hockey's back. It's been back for a little while now, but you know the first couple weeks of the season are everyone's just kind of testing the waters, putting out their rookies and stuff like that, getting them a feel for the sport before the games actually become
Right.
a matter of making the playoffs or not. So like the first month of the season, even you can probably just like skip them or just look at the scores. But there's still good. There's still good hockey going on. The opening game for Pittsburgh, who I like Pittsburgh and Vegas. Pittsburgh because that's kind of like where I'm from, and Vegas because they started the team the same year I moved to the South, and they're a Southern team. And Dallas is really bad, so I was like, oh, I'll go with the new team. And then I bet on them at the beginning of the season, and with a friend, and they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, so they were second place in the entire league.
Really
their
impressive.
first year, which is like really good. I don't think it's unprecedented. I think another team has made it. I think the Blues maybe are the ones that made it to the Stanley Cup Finals. But still, like that's very impressive. They had a very good record. They killed it. And I later found out that in Vegas they were taking like 1,500 to 1 odds of them making it that far. And I was like, damn. I didn't even make any money from my friend because we didn't actually like follow through with the bet because
Sounds like you
we
got a
didn't
bad
have
friend.
like terms. We just were like, oh. Well, no, I wasn't like, I bet you $20. I was like, oh, yeah, I bet they're going to make it. And he's like, oh, yeah, probably. And we just kind of talked about it. And then they did. And it's like, damn. If I would have put $10 down, that would be
that would've been real cool.
$15,000 richer. Pretty cool. I didn't though, because I'm a nub. And then you also look bad because now everyone's like, oh yeah, you only looking because they were really good in the first year. And so far, they're not doing good at all.
There you go.
So I'm still cool to like them. But the Penguins, their opening game was against the champions last year, the Capitals from Washington, D.C. And it was a 6-7 game, and the Penguins won. But like a 13-goal game, not unprecedented, but just ridiculous. Because usually a hockey game is going to be like 5-6 goals, sometimes like 7 or 8, 13 on the opener. Slobber knocker, as the kids say.
I'll say why not.
Do they?
I think the kids hopefully say slobber knocker. If they don't, they should start.
Isn't that just a euphemism for sucking dick?
That is not at all a euphemism for sucking dick.
Because it sounds like it. So what is this term, or is it just a random?
A slobber knocker, it's like I'm gonna Google it, but it's basically like when you know a slobber, like you get punched in the face, your spit goes flying. So it's like, and you just keep going back and forth.
Now
So
it
it's
makes
just
sense.
like, yeah, it's just like things are going to blows for a long time.
Because I mean, I don't feel like I'm completely unjustified in thinking that it's a euphemism.
I think
I apologize for dismissing your sport.
it's
Yeah, it's exactly what you said it was. It's fine.
yeah, it's a good hard hit where you can see spit fly, or something that's very
Is
big.
it the AMAs right now?
And that happened.
The American
what?
Ice Awards? I think it is.
Oh, maybe?
There's a lot of...
Maybe.
It's trending on Twitter.
Is that...
So, I just want to say, I am currently on UrbanDictionary.com,
oh, no.
and there is this ad, because I was looking up slobber knocker, and there's this ad that says, these 34 photos are haunting for this one reason. And it's a picture of a Dairy Queen employee with Robin Williams. And I'm going to
because
say,
Robin Williams
if the
dead?
one reason is that they're taken with people who are now dead,
Yeah.
that's not a very haunting thing. Like,
it's
this
too
photo
spooky.
is
It's
terrifying.
It's part of Spooky October.
Terrifying photo. Someone took a picture with someone. After, a while later, they died.
A while later, one might even say.
A while. Eventually. Every photo that's ever been taken in the after I don't know where I was gonna try and go. I said after instead of before, so I ruined my own joke. So I'm just gonna move on.
You did ruin it.
Just listen, guys. Listen.
It's okay.
Sorry, I'm
Get
distracted.
on with it.
I'm distracted.
Jackson might not, but I do.
Well, yeah. Good talk.
Good teamwork, guys.
So Dan,
Good
Go ahead.
teamwork.
Speaking of teamwork,
that's
I
actually
was
I was
gonna
about to
bring
try
back
and bring you back
Overwatch.
to that.
I appreciate it.
I was going to do that too,
I,
even though I don't want to talk about Overwatch, just because I know you guys do, and I got to talk about hockey for like 10 minutes.
I didn't want to like completely undercut you both. So I was letting it happen. That's called
As anyone who
respectful
follows
podcasting,
us
boys
on
and girls.
being a beta.
Twitter.com/off the air or the off the whatever the heck it's called. The off the air. Yeah.
It's the off the air.
As
You had it
anyone who
right.
follows us knows, I put out a little tweet today saying that we were going to be recording tonight and to give us your topic ideas. And Hi replied with waifu tier lists or whatever we're super hyped for. So Jackson, you get involved in this because Dan has his Overwatch waifus, and I know you have other waifus, and I got to talk about the new Halloween movie.
I do.
So we're actually doing really well today. I would say so.
Are we?
I mean, compared to any other day.
Damn straight.
Yes, Dan.
Okay.
Dan straight. You're right.
Nice, dude.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for your service.
You're very welcome.
That's been my favorite get 'em lately. Like, someone will say something like, oh, thank you for your service. They'll be like, oh, yeah, I was up really late last night. I'm like, oh, thank you for your service.
But what if it's a desperate cry for help? Then what?
Thank you for your service.
Nice.
Nice. It's pretty funny.
It is. It's like a 5 out of 10 at least.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service, too.
Is this just going to be a bit
anyway.
now? Is this?
Yeah, it should be.
It's not gonna
I'm
be a
okay
bit.
with it becoming a bit. Anyway, you're not going to be a bit.
I like imaginary women.
I have noticed.
I can
yes.
agree with that. I can back that. Yeah.
Problem solved. All right, that's the tier list.
Imaginary women are the best because they can't reject me if they're all in my mind.
And you can project your problems onto them, and they can never tell you you're not good enough.
That's not
Well, I mean,
true,
as
but
you-
yeah.
Oh.
As you said to Ed last week, when she drew you with your body pillows, you're like, I'll have you know my waifu's half spider.
Yeah, that's the top waifu. That's my number one
yeah,
waifu
who
as
is that?
plus tier.
Who is it? Who is it? Just to be clear.
Rhaenyra from Monster Musume. Noah, throw that up on the screen.
Just so I'm gonna pull up some
Rhaenyra. It's a spider.
How do you spell
RACH.
that?
hybrid.
Yep.
Yep, it's
RACH.
RACHNERA.
So I gotta ask.
It's a Spider Woman. Yes.
Because I feel like there are some layers to this, and I'd like to just break it down.
Okay, let's go.
So she's got regular people legs,
Yeah.
and then also has.
Wait, no, she does not have regular people legs.
Okay, I'm just scrolling through. Okay, that's because that's a DeviantArt. Okay, I'm scrolling through like literally the top results on Google Image. So like, forgive me.
Okay, that'd be kind of weird if
She
there
has
is.
okay, so but like her front legs are pretty dang close. Like they're intended to look
spikes on the
like
bottom
regular
to be
legs.
like
Her
Spider-Man
front, her
legs.
frontmost. Yeah, exactly.
I don't think so. I think.
Well, compared to the other ones, look at the knees. Look at the knees on her
sure.
front too versus the ones on the rest of her. Like
I'm gonna Google it real quick, but they do not look any different on the images I have.
the images
I
I'm
mean,
seeing,
the
they
ones I'm
definitely do.
finding, yeah.
Noah, can you back me on this?
I don't know.
Okay.
Like
They're noticeably more knee-like. They're a different. They're a slightly different shape. Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much in a little bigger.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
So I gotta ask.
I guess does have human front legs, but 10 legs total.
10 legs total. 10 legs total. So is it the spider part, or is it the character, or is it the eyes? Like I'm trying to break this down because there are layers, right? Like she's got four eyes.
Yeah. I think it's all three.
I'm assuming she makes web. Call it a wild hunch.
Yeah.
Because why else would you have a Spider Woman if she couldn't make web?
Webs up enemies and whatnot, like Spider-Man does. Bad guys beware.
Bad guys beware. Spider
Also,
Woman.
she has rows of sharp teeth, worth noting.
And
But that's not something I'm super into. That's just kind of like a
bonus.
fact.
It's just a bonus for you.
I don't not even a bonus. It's just like a thing that exists.
I'm just trying to figure out. Like I don't hate like the human part. Like that's fine. I get that. That's the whatever. I'm just trying to break down why specifically her. Like, why not, like, a centaur?
Centaurs are weak and lame and dumb.
What
Have you
centaurs
found
have you
yourself a
seen?
centaur in like movies or literature that isn't
enough.
just a
Ever.
little bit of a bitch? Bitch.
The ones
Yeah,
in
never-
Harry Potter.
What do you
They
mean?
are the ones that
Harry
get
Potter
bottom
are
of the
badasses.
pretzel
What the
bitch.
fuck?
I mean, they help out, but like they're also.
What?
Yeah, they're being bitches.
Am I misremembering those books
They're also
entirely? Because I remember them
assholes.
being badass.
They are badass, but also bitches. Yeah, they're
Well,
they're
that doesn't-
assholes.
That doesn't have anything to
They
do with
they
being a
do
put-
help
with being a
save the
little
day
bitch.
though. They do take Pink Lady and just beat the shit out of her, and who knows what else.
No,
I
they
was
didn't
gonna
kill
say,
her, but
I
it's
don't
kind
know
of
that's
why
what they
they
did.
Kill
like,
her.
did other stuff to her, which I think is a little. It is just kind of.
Nope.
and
Hey, is it really? Is it really?
yeah, see,
Horse
they
dick
made
is canon.
like clip
Horse
clopping.
is at least implied.
No,
Can we see if
they made,
has
like,
J.K. Rowling
clip-clopping
tweeted about
noises,
this to
and
ruin
she
her series
freaks
further?
out. Something happened, you know, and I think that's really kind of dark of J.K. Rowling to do, since she decides to ruin everything else about her series.
Well, okay. Let me just counterpoint here. She has clip clopping and she's afraid. That's kind of like people who have been in the war
Can I-
being afraid when they hear fireworks because it reminds them of a time that was really unpleasant for them, which might just mean that the centaurs just kind of like we're like, hey, you ever fuck around again,
go
you
ahead.
know what's going to happen.
Can I
And
read
so
a
she hears the
quote?
sound and is just like reminded. Yeah, read the quote.
Here we go. Blah, blah, blah. I scrolled through, emerged from the tree supporting Professor Umbridge without so much as a scratch, whatever. Since she returned to the castle, she had not uttered a single word, as far as anyone knew. Nobody really knew what was wrong with her. Her usually neat hair was very untidy, and there were still bits of twigs and leaves in it,
so
but otherwise
I don't know
she
if she
seemed to be quite
meant to
unscathed.
imply that she got raped by centaurs, but that is 100% what I take away from that.
That definitely is what happened.
Right?
No, I 100% agree.
That's really messed up.
That just
I
goes
100%
to
agree.
It really just goes
I
to
don't
show
like
that
that.
J.K. Rowling is not above ruining her work in canon in addition to on Twitter later.
Have you guys
yet.
seen the Star Kid
heard it's
Harry Potter
very good.
musical?
I have, It is fine.
Have you seen all of them? Because there are like 3 of them.
I have seen like 2 probably.
So did you see the one with the Umbridge? Is where I'm leading with this.
When I was like 14.
Okay.
And even then I didn't like it.
The only reason I'm bringing it up is because I haven't seen it in a couple of years as well. I distinctly remember Umbridge being very okay in the musical, like it was a joke that she was very okay with going off to get horse dicked, and 2 being played by a dude who had the like. I don't even. It's definitely a stereotype, but I can't even think of what it would be. Giant muscle bound dude. Drag queen. There we go. She was played by somebody that looked like a drag queen, and it was very funny.
I remember them being fine. I don't like Harry Potter that much.
That's fair. I
never really have.
They're definitely not on the top of my list. I didn't read them until I was like 18, so like I don't have that like childhood wonder that a lot of people did.
Yeah. I think the biggest, not necessarily issue, besides like me, like I said earlier, I was talking about how Magic not as cool as Cowboys.
That physically hurts me because I disagree so strongly, but that's okay.
Cowboys. Have you ever seen Tombstone, dude? Are you kidding me?
Dude,
that's
Magic
way cooler than Harry Potter.
Magic is objectively cool.
You think, but cooler.
It depends. It very much depends. I would argue that they're definitely uncool Cowboys.
I can't think of any.
I
outside
can't off
of
the top of my head, but that's fine.
Who?
I said I can't. No. But I also can't think of any uncool Magic. So.
Here's a spell for you that is very much existent and canon in Harry Potter.
Okay.
I cannot stress that enough. J.K. Rowling has confirmed this.
Mm-hmm.
When wizards go to the bathroom, they don't use a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
In canon, they shit themselves and cast a spell to make it go away.
Is that canon? Because I thought
is that cool magic?
Like looked into it and found out that was fake.
Imagine it's canon.
Let's see.
I thought it was in one of her like explaining the world of Harry Potter. Yeah, by all means, look it up.
Shit themselves.
Poopus deletus.
This is how wizards poop according to JK.
Feces deletus.
Entrance uses before the bathroom. When Hogwarts added modern plumbing, the entrance got hidden underneath. So they definitely used to. They no longer do in the time of Harry Potter, but yes.
Because now they just shit themselves and cast it away.
I honestly, I'm gonna argue that actually is kind of dope.
You think that's dope,
dude?
Have you ever shit yourself before, Dan?
But like, if you could just magic it away and there was no
but
like,
have you ever,
repercussions,
the feeling is never going to be pleasant, even if it goes away.
I don't know that I can. I don't know, man. I feel like it would be.
You think it's a nice feeling?
I'm not gonna say it's a nice feeling. I'm just gonna say I definitely wouldn't be going to the bathroom as much if I could just
I would
magic it away.
absolutely still go to the bathroom the same amount. Because you can't just keep like if you're peeing yourself, you can't just like keep casting the spell every like 0.5 seconds so there's no pee anywhere on you.
It's like an auto cast. It's a joke.
Is that a thing?
No, it's not. It's a joke.
Because you basically have to wait till you get all the pee out, and then you wish it away. So you've got to piss yourself like half a gallon, and then just be like, Pigus deletus.
Also, I will say it says relieve themselves where they stood, which doesn't. I mean, I'm not going to make the argument, but there is an argument to be made that like they at least
poop on the floor.
Yeah. Also, robes. Robes are not the same as pants.
I still don't like it though.
I don't blame you for not liking it. I'm just saying, like, I would go to the bathroom.
You're walking down the halls of Hogwarts and you see this kid just laying a fat log in the hall.
Probably Neville.
It probably smells like shit. It smells so bad. And then he's just poopum deletus.
Feces deletus, buddy.
Feces deletus.
Feces deletus.
This is
poopum be
This
gone.
is really a fantastic example of her ruining all of her own stuff. It's.
Oh, she definitely does.
I never have. No.
Have you ever seen a cowboy shit themselves? Me neither.
Are you sure?
Real life cowboys
really
definitely shat
cool,
themselves. Real life cowboys were gross as shit. Dude. They were gross as shit. They were gross as shit. Are you kidding me?
One of them probably did that, but I don't think they just actively shit their pants. You know how inconvenient that is?
Fair. That's why they all have that bow-legged walk. It's not from the horses. It's because they're,
It's from the shit pants. That's why people give them dirty looks when they walk in saloons.
Oh, I love this. This is good.
I don't love it.
This is good.
Cowboys are cool, though. That's all I'm saying.
I'm not going to disagree with you. I think cowboys are cool. I think space cowboys are cooler.
Well, yeah.
And I would argue that if you could, I know of a couple of settings that have magic cowboys are cooler still.
What's a magic cowboy? What's an example of a magic cowboy?
The original
That's
Ghost
cool
Rider.
cowboy.
Not on the motorcycle, on the horse.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I guess it is magic. I guess the devil is magic, man.
I'm gonna make the argument that there's no difference between divine magic and arcane.
I mean, if you're playing D&D, there's some
I
pretty
think
druidic.
you're
They're all the same magic.
If you're playing D&D, yeah.
Yeah, but like
you got to make a difference. You gotta.
I mean, there's a difference in source, but not in effect necessarily.
I mean, I think the druids usually just turn into animals.
You can turn into
Or it's
animals
like divine
as any
magic
kind of
people.
mage. It's just druids do it better.
But can druids cast like fireballs?
I'd have to look. I haven't read up on my D&D lately. Sorry, which is
No,
a
I just
lie.
don't
I
think
definitely
magic's that
have,
cool.
but I just don't remember.
I just think that instead of magic, everyone should just be a cowboy in Harry Potter.
I like
Go.
in terms of like worlds you would rather live in, right? Would you rather
Cowboy world.
You would really rather live in a world where everyone was cowboys rather than where everyone had
I
magic.
do, partner.
What do you want me
No,
to say?
please
though?
back
Do you
me
want
on
me to
this.
say
No.
that
Come
Harry
on.
Potter is cooler than a cowboy? Because I can't say that.
No, I want you to.
mean,
I want you to say
would
you'd rather live in a magic world than a
not
cowboy
live
Damn
world.
with
straight
dirty
can't.
people, because I don't like dirty people. And cowboys were kind of dirty people because they were riding horses in dust all the time. But
Wizards shit themselves.
Past tense did.
They don't anymore.
No, she specifically mentions that it's one of the things that they picked up from Muggles.
so does that mean that?
Well,
wait, does that
and
mean
they don't like
that the
muggles.
pure? Does that mean that the purebloods
Those fucking muggles
do
don't shit
still
themselves,
shit
like we
themselves
do,
because they don't like muggles?
Father. I really hope they do. I hope Draco Malfoy just like pops a fat
No,
dooze in
she
his
specifically
pants
says
just to
that-
spite.
It specifically says that the plumbing became more elaborate in the 18th century. And I will point out the 18th century was also a very dirty time for everybody.
I really like to imagine that the purebloods and like the people who hate muggles still shit their pants out of anger. Like Draco and Malfoy and his dad just popping deuces in the car, casting that away.
I won't lie. I do enjoy this mental image, but
I'm
I
in
can't
Robot Land
back
right
you on
now,
this.
so I
I'm sorry.
didn't catch a
Where
lot
you
of
go,
that.
I cannot follow.
Oh, okay.
We're all in Robot Land.
We're all robots now.
Thanks,
We're all
Alex
Alex Jones now.
We're all robots now.
All right, so we're rounding up. Yeah,
Thanks,
you don't-
Alex
you don't
Jones.
like Alex Jones? Alex Jones is a
Really?
stand-up dude who was banned from Twitter.
You know what I think?
No, he was banned from Twitter. It's true.
I know you're joking, but like I meant about the other part. Asshole.
really?
Alex Jones is from my city. You can't
Interesting.
disrespect him, dude.
I literally can.
Did I
That's
tell
awesome.
you guys the story about the person that I used to
Gross.
work with who
Burn it
like,
down. Burn it all
used
down.
to play Alex Jones every single morning? No, it's a different friend.
That
Was
does
it
not
our
surprise
friend
me.
who believes in the earth that is flat?
No, different friend.
Was it the virginity rocks on his shirt
it's-
friend?
No, but they
Iconic
used to
shirt,
play
honestly.
Alex
Why
Jones
do
every
we-
morning. This was back at my last job where we weren't allowed to talk about politics and religion. So one morning I'm like, hey, dude, you know what? I'm sorry, but you can't listen to this. And she's like, why? And I'm like, it's incredibly political. And she's like, so? And I'm like, it's one of our rules. And she's like, it's not that bad. And I'm like, dude, it's InfoWars.
It
This
is.
man believes there's a globalist conspiracy, which there might be, but like, I don't think it's that bad of a thing.
I was gonna say, is there a problem with globalism?
Yeah, to a degree, yes. But I also think that cultural unity and multinationalism,
Yeah.
not the worst thing in the world.
No, man. If there's a globalist conspiracy, sign me up. I'm all on board
Is
with
this,
this.
is this a globalist podcast? Can we become a globalist
Can we
podcast?
officially be globalist? Is that
I
a
do
thing?
take stands,
Oh,
but we're not going
on.
to take a
No,
stand.
No, you
on
never
it.
take a stand. You
We
gotta
can
learn to
vote
take
him
a
off.
stand.
My stand. Do you
take
have
a
you
st-
know
yeah,
I
this is your
take a
stand.
strong political stance on
wanna-
anything publicly in my life? Okay, let me rephrase that. Infowars
Infowars.
bad. That
We're going to war with Infowars.
but
This is
Damn,
Infowar
how
2.
brave. How could you say something so controversial and yet so brave?
no.
You guys know the original context to that. It's from the Eric Andre show.
I knew that much.
Even funnier in the
And
original.
it's one of those things where I find a lot of memes are actually like much more ridiculous and wild, and as a result, funnier in the original context. He has Amber Rose on for an interview, and he says, basically, he just says something really racist about Asian people. And he's like, you tweeted that the other day. Why did you do that? Or he's like, you tweeted this just earlier today. How could you say something so controversial yet so brave? And she's like, I didn't say that. I did not say that. He's like, well, it's right here. The Eric Andre show is ridiculous.
I don't like that show.
I can't watch it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
It's a lot. It is a lot to sit through. And I like shows like that where people are in on the joke, right? Like when somebody's going into it and they are on the understand, and it's less common now because he's much more popular and more people know who he is. But when somebody is in on the joke, that kind of show is great because it's just riffing and it's just good times, ridiculousness, great. But when people aren't on the joke, you're just wasting other people's time and kind of being an asshole. Hot take.
I think it's pretty funny, honestly. I get
like that.
Because he doesn't say he doesn't say like it's just gonna be a normal interview. He's like, no, we are gonna fuck with you. And like they just go and they think they're prepared. And then he just does something way worse than they could ever imagine. So like they walk in knowing things are gonna be weird, but they don't know that like he's gonna throw up on his desk and then slurp it back up. Like they think he's gonna like put like a rubber snake on the desk. He doesn't think that like they don't think that he's gonna release like a dozen rats underneath a chair. It's just like
I was pretty sure that at least like most of the guests don't have. Yeah, he's explaining it just from my like 2-second googling. A lot of the guests have no idea. The management arranges the interviews, and when they're doing promo, it's just another interview. Though, the show's a bit weird. Like that is not a fair warning.
You have
and I think that's really shitty.
Do base research on the things that you sign up to do. Okay.
Yeah, if I'm going onto any show, I'm Googling it real quick.
I like you guys' really, really harsh opinions there.
Well, because like imagine you go on the Eric Andre show, but you're totally ready for it.
Dude, that would be great. That would be so much more fun to me.
And no one does it. But like you would get him at his own game, but nobody's ever thought to just Google image, like Google search Eric Andre show.
My thing is this, when you are on, because a lot of it's for promo, right? Like a lot of times when people go on interview, like long strings of interviews, it's for promo. They are doing interviews nonstop. They honestly may not even know that that's who they're going to see until day of. That happens. Like, it's not just believable, it's common.
You can't Google it on the car ride?
No, like they don't
know on the ride there?
No, dude, that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like, they are, the amount of interviews they do in one day, like, they may genuinely not have a clue on the way there. They're just going to the next interview.
Sets it up. Exactly. And what they should do is on the way to the interview be like, oh, by the way, this guy's going to mess with you real hard. Here's what they do.
And that's fine. That is fine. Like, if like, because I remember some because I don't watch it, but I just remember like vaguely in the back of my head that happened to a couple of early contestants, air quotes, interviewees on like Hot Ones, right? Because Hot Ones, I would argue, is a similar, not obviously to the same degree, but like get the celebrity off their game and kind of give them something a little unique in terms of interviews, and like. Some people early in that show, like they had no idea. They just were signing on for a new interview. And I think I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with getting people to do things and then not knowing what the hell they're signing up for. And yeah, some of that is on the managers. I feel like
but they're still signing.
There's somebody's still doing it. You know what I mean? Like they are, and I think that's just fucked. I think you should tell your people if you're going to fuck with them.
If I was Eric Andre, I'd be having such a blast with it.
Not funny. Like if I
would be living on it, and I would do everything I could to not clue people in.
And I'm sure he does.
Let's be real here. Yeah.
No, I think that makes you an asshole.
It does make him an asshole. That's his thing.
What? That's my thing. You can't have my thing.
Yeah, but you're bad at it.
Fuck off.
You won't even like let people get fucked with by Eric Andre. How are you going to be an asshole?
No, I'm okay with being fucked with. I just don't fuck with people without consent.
They have consent. They sign up for it. They show up for it. Like that's as much consent as you can get. They walk in the room and they say, "Here I am to be interviewed."
I would argue it is consent under like a different pretext, in a way, if that makes sense.
Like, I mean, it makes sense what you're saying. Like, and I don't think you're wrong. I just think
you just think I should listen up, and I don't disagree. I don't it is really funny.
I just think that like it's not unethical, basically.
I don't think it's unethical necessarily. I still think it's hard to say like it's not unethical, but it still makes you an asshole because there's a very strong argument that the two are like intertwined. But I would argue like you're not breaking any rules, right? Like there's nothing illegal or anything about what Eric Andre does, and I don't think that he is really necessarily at fault most of the time.
Well, that's not true.
Oh, really?
He does do illegal things sometimes. Usually on his street stuff, when he'll be like out on the streets. Like one time he walked into a jewelry store with one of those metal detectors people use on like the beach, and he put it like he just walked around like he was walking around with it outside, and he walked inside and like put it over the display. When it started beeping, he just smashed it and grabbed the jewelry out and then ran, and like he got like tased or tackled or something like that, and like, he was like, I'm not going to jail for this, I'm not going to jail for this, get the PR. And so like the publishing team like was like, hey, they probably had like consent from the store or something from beforehand.
Yeah.
But the security guard didn't know.
Be surprised.
And like, I believe he has been to jail before on the show.
Yeah, and I think that is fine. Like even if not, because like security guard, that's a very you're not necessarily fucking with the security guard. You're fucking with everybody else as well. The security guard is just doing his part, like as his job, and so I don't. But I also think that like it. In that situation, it's a little justifiable for him to at least get arrested.
Yeah, if the store didn't know he was going to do it, then yeah. But if they were like, yeah, we give you permission to do this, then I don't think it's a problem.
That's fair.
So I don't know what the outcome was, but I don't know if he got arrested for that one. I know he has been before for other stuff, though.
We're about an hour now, so we need to wrap up.
Yes, they're pretty
which makes
funny.
it a great time for me to intro my movie of the week for October. Are you excited? Awesome. So what we're going to talk about today is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Absolutely.
Sure, bud.
It takes me ages to catch up on classic movies like this because I'm also trying to keep up with newer movies. So this is the first time I've ever actually seen this. And no, I missed... Yeah, not the 2011
Wait, you haven't
remake,
seen
the
The
original
Thing?
one. Yeah.
John Carpenter's The Thing?
No, the original one, yeah.
You still have to call it John Carpenter's The Thing for whatever reason. That's just what everyone calls it.
That, I'm not going to lie, that blows my mind.
Imagine
John
directing
Carpenter's
a movie
Halloween,
so
John
well,
Carpenter's The
whenever
Thing.
anyone talks about
John
it, they use your
Carpenter's
full
The
name.
Fog. It's, it's what you do. But, The Thing. Yeah.
A lot of Alfred Hitchcock,
But,
a lot of Hitchcock movies are like that.
adore this movie.
Anyway,
The practical
sorry, go ahead.
effects are A+, and a lot of people like to talk about John Carpenter's soundtracks, but I have never heard anyone mention this one's soundtrack, which I find surprising because it was very minimal, but the moments that it played, it was perfect to highlight what was going on and make it important. And, it was just so good. The practical effects were great. The acting was great. You got this feeling of isolation and dread, knowing that there was not going to be a happy ending. It was so good. I'm actually probably going to watch it again this weekend because I have a commentary track on here from Kurt Russell and John Carpenter. And I kind of want to listen to that while I watch the movie now. A+ movie. Can't recommend enough. Stupid of me to not have seen it until now. Go watch The Thing.
There you have
I'm sorry,
folks.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Go watch John Carpenter's The Thing.
I heard it suffered
Honestly,
from
the 2011 remake, not
CG
terrible.
problems.
Not as good,
that
but it's not.
it
It's
just
not
didn't
abysmal.
quite look good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like it's unnecessary because it's not as good as the original.
I look
but
forward
it's not
to
like
watching it
an
'cause
absolute
why
shit
not,
show.
right? It should
Because the
be
story is
fun.
pretty much identical.
Probably not going to hate it. I like a lot of movies.
Yeah, you probably won't hate it. Yeah. I don't dislike the thing too much. I like the intrigue to
Yeah.
it.
No, I'll take that. You know what it's...
I find it very comparable to Alien.
Yeah, I can see that.
Of course, it's more like a murder mystery Alien, though, because you don't know who's the killer. Whereas an Alien, you do. You just don't know what the killer is after and what it looks like and where it's coming from. Whereas, like, in The Thing, they're like, the killer is one of us. And an alien, maybe? Monster? Bad guy? It's a thing. Definitely a
Do
thing.
you?
Yeah, and I think its
have you
ending is
seen
like
it?
one
By
of
chance?
the more iconic endings in storytelling
Oh,
as well.
sorry.
It is a very iconic ending.
Yeah, that's what I said. I'm shocked you haven't, because
I've been living in robot land for the last 5 minutes, so I've been
what the
mostly
hell?
following.
I've seen a horror movie that Noah hasn't. Hadn't.
Oh yeah, feels good, man.
Is that our cue to wrap it up?
I believe so. Yes. So this has been Off the Air. Thank you for coming out today. I listened to the podcast as always.
Exactly.
Remember to review us and rate us 5 stars
that we get that
on Apple
because,
Podcasts.
You know, it helps us reach more people.
Exactly.
And it makes us look more professional if we ever want to like harass another podcast to be friends with, you know?
Very professional. Yeah, go subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. You know, there's going to be links on the Twitter, links in my Discord for my personal Discord, and also don't forget to check out our Patreon. See if anything looks like it's appetizing to your
What is
interests.
what's our $100 goal?
Patreon.com/off the air.
If we
That's
reach
us.
like
You can find us
$100
there.
let me check. Oh yeah. No, we do. Dan will get a painting commissioned of his persona.
I don't think
and
we
we'll
have it
share
set
it
up
with
yet,
you guys.
but we will.
We do.
So
Yep.
Oh yes.
Yep. We established.
Free
Yeah, that episode. I was trying to like think logistically if that episode. I'm a couple episodes behind in listening to myself talk. I'm sorry. But yeah, that is who boy. So you know what? I'm actually gonna rescind all the things that Jackson said and say don't do that. Don't donate to our Patreon, because I really don't want to have to go through with this.
So reverse psychology is what he's using on you.
No, it's really not. It's just psychology.
Oh, he's doubling down on the reverse psychology.
keep up with us with podcast release updates. Follow us on Facebook at OTA
don't do this.
Podcast. And
Extra reverse.
Twitter. We're pretty active on Twitter. At The Off the Air, patreon.com/off the air. You can find me
At
on
The Off
Twitter,
the Air,
Instagram, and Snapchat at Buddabad, BUBBADABAD. Jackson, take it away. Neat.
Jackson. I am Jackson. I'm here. And you can find me on Twitter at twitter.com/Jacksonium with 2 M's. That's Jackson, IUMM. You can find me on twitch.tv/Jacksonium with 1 M. That's Jackson, IUM. You can also find me on Tumblr with 2 M's. Jacksonium, that is. It's not just like 2 M's that won't bring up me.
Well, everywhere where we're announcing right now.
And that's, I think,
Dan,
everywhere that I'm at.
how about you?
Maybe? Okay, Noah's confirmed. Dan.
Literally the only place I'm keeping up with consistently now is Twitter at Born to Rule 57. Because I literally am trying to kill myself by putting on too much schoolwork. Well, although if you go there when this episode drops, I would and check back about a week, you'll see my Overwatch
that's right.
waifu tier list, because I was asked to do that and we didn't get a chance to, and I'm gonna put it on Twitter. Yep.
Suit
Yeah, it's
Doomfist.
fine.
Mercy's the best.
Doomfist.
Mercy is literally
He's
the worst.
best.
How dare you?
No, not Doomfist. Doomfist, the suit one. The one that's too good for you.
Yeah. Yeah, no. Yes. Because I feel like using specific character skins is, I was gonna just go baseline, but yeah, no, that is one of the top, like I would say like top 3.
So this has been Off the Air. And we spent the last probably 20 minutes not being able to hear each other reliably. So hopefully that doesn't turn out abysmal.
No, so we're sorry when you're trying to listen back to this and it sounds like we're just not listening to each other. I mean, more than usual.
I cannot hear Dan right now.
It's because we are
Great
actual
Dan.
for real robots right now, because Discord has decided to kill itself today.
Not the best day for Discord.
Exactly.
Good one, Dan. I like that bit.
Thanks for watching, guys, or listening, or both.
No,
watching
we're
and
just gonna
listening.
have your one
Be back.
spider
Be
You
back.
waifu.
didn't have to put a lot of images up on the screen today.
Nah,
Okay.
no, gotta.
Only my waifu. You should put like 4 of her though.
What if you didn't?
Like just kind of
every now and then.
intermittently. Like do a little slideshow when I first talk about it, and then just kind of like pop one in every once in a while.
Just
That's
Video
what
Make
of
it
our
a jump
podcast,
scare.
regular podcast, and just put in one of those like crappy stock
She's very Halloween
screams. And
appropriate.